Hey, welcome to another episode of Learn French with a French guy. So today I was reading this bande dessinée, just the one page, and it's a very famous bande dessinée, Les Aventures d'Alix. So it takes place in ancient Rome or whereabouts. And this one is called La Tiare. So this is the name of the album. And an album is like maybe 30 pages, 30 to 40 pages. So it's called La Tiare d'Oribal. Oribal is the name of the king or something. So the Horrible's Tiara. So basically the context of this thing is that this guy on the left, he stole a tiara, and the tiara has magical powers. So whoever wears it that's not supposed to wear it gets into trouble and starts, I guess, hallucinating. So I'm gonna focus on the second cell here, and in particular that one on the bottom. This one on the bottom. So let's go into the whiteboard and look at it. Here we go. So I'm only interested in the bottom one. Okay. And today we're gonna talk about participe présent. Participe présent. So participe présent, you take the verb, the radical, and you always add a, n, t. So depending on the function, on the function of the participe présent in the sentence, it can either not agree with anything, so it doesn't agree with anything, or it can agree with the noun if it's used as an adjective. So let's look at this one here, because here you have the two uses. So there's one here, battant, so that's one. This one is invariable, so it doesn't vary, it doesn't agree. Battant, so that comes from battre, to beat. Okay, so that's one. There's one here, battant, and there's another one here, hallucinant. Hallucinant. And this comes from the verb halluciner, to hallucinate, I guess. Halluciner. So this one is used as an adjective. So let's start a new page and let's look at that first use. So let me rewrite it. So battant, l'air. I forgot to translate. Battant l'air de ses mains. Battant l'air de ses mains comme un fou. Caral. So that's the name of the guy. Caral. Ne rencontre. Caral ne rencontre que le vide. Bla bla bla. So let me translate this thing. So battant l'air de ses mains. Battant l'air de ses mains. So beating in the air with his hands. Comme un fou, like a fool or like a crazy person. So Caral, this is the name of the guy, the thief. Caral ne rencontre only meets. Le vide is the empty space or void. Only meets nothing. Okay. So this is le participe présent. So here it's basically used as a it's basically used as a proposition relative. It could be replaced by a proposition relative. Let me explain. So you could say something like this. Caral qui bat. Caral qui bat l'air de ses mains. Ne rencontre que le vide. It's the same thing as in English. So in English you would say beating the air with his hands, okay, like a fool or like a crazy person. Caral, blah blah blah. But you could also say Caral who is beating, Caral who is beating the air. It's the same thing. Okay, so in English it's exactly the same thing. So in this case, if it's used like that, it doesn't agree. You don't make it agree to anything. It doesn't change. Okay, so you don't make it agree. So now let's look at the other one. So let's go back here. So we've just seen that one, battant l'air de ses mains. So now we're going to look at this one. Des aspects hallucinants. Des aspects hallucinants. Okay, so let's go. New page. So let's write this one. So, le paysage. Le paysage environnant, le paysage environnant se brouille et prend des aspects hallucinants. Prend des aspects hallucinants. So here there's a little question. Should you do a liaison or not? Should you say des aspects hallucinants, or should you say des aspects hallucinants? Because it starts with an H, you have to ask the question: is it what is called a H aspiré? For that, you have to look at is it an H aspiré? If it's an H aspiré, you don't do the liaison. If it's not an H aspiré, you do the liaison. So for that, you have to look at the dictionary. So in this case, it's not a H aspiré, it's called a H muet. So you don't you do the liaison. You do the liaison in this case. So if it's H muet, like in this case, you do the liaison. So you say des aspects hallucinants. Okay, so a little note here. This looks like a participle present, but it's not. It's not. Even though it ends in on, it's just an adjective. It's an adjective. Adjective. Okay, so it has nothing. There's no verb. It doesn't come from a verb. So it's an adjective. I mean, there is a verb environner, so you have environnant. So yeah, that one. So you have the verb. That's interesting. You have the verb. I just looked at the dictionary and it says environnant adjective, but there is a verb environner. So environnant would be the participle present, and here anyway it's used as an adjective, so it doesn't make any difference. So either you see it as an adjective, a regular adjective, or you see it as a participle present used as an adjective. Doesn't make any difference. So here you have le paysage environnant. It means the surrounding landscape. So if you were to say les paysages environnants, environnants, you have to put an S. It agrees with this guy because here it's an adjective. Épithète. Adjectif, the full adjectif qualificatif and used as an épithète. Okay, so and the other one, des aspects hallucinants, same thing. So hallucinant comes from the verb halluciner, to hallucinate. So halluciner gives you hallucinant. Okay, and here it's used as a adjective. It's used as an adjective, qualificatif, épithète, same thing as this one. So adjective, qualificatif, épithète. Okay, so and it's also called the adjective verbal. It's saying basically that it's coming from a verb. It's not a regular adjective. So, okay, so let me translate the whole thing. Le paysage environnant, so the surrounding landscape, se brouille, becomes fuzzy, and prend des aspects, and takes on des aspects hallucinants. So des aspects let me check my dictionary. Aspect, appearance, looks. So it takes on hallucinating appearances, or weird appearances, or whatever. So that's the translation. So here in this whole thing here, the participle present is used as an adjective. So it has to, adjective qualificatif, it has to agree with the noun it qualifies, whether it's this one or that one. So you can even include the article, because this one is singular masculine and this one is plural masculine, so that's why you have an S here. Okay, and the other case, I forgot to say something here. Let me carry on here. What you could also have said, because here they changed your mean, you could have changed the... So, battant l'air de ses mains, Caral ne rencontre. You could also have said, Caral. You could have put that proposition here, change the order. Battant l'air, I'm just going to say battant l'air, I'm not going to repeat the whole thing. Caral battant l'air, bla bla bla, de ses mains, ne rencontre que le vide. Okay, so now it's the same order as this one. So those two have the same order. So now maybe it's a bit clearer. And so this guy doesn't agree with anything. He certainly doesn't agree with this one, but here you cannot say. So maybe what you could have done also is say, put it at the plural. Caral et ses amis. Caral et ses amis, so now it's plural. So now it's plural. Plural masculine. Caral et ses amis. Battant. Battant. So here you don't put S. Huh? No. Battant here doesn't agree with anything. Caral et ses amis. Battant l'air. Here and de ses mains. So C is adjective possessive. Adjective possessive. So now you have to change that. Battant l'air de. So now ses mains. Now you have to change it. So battant l'air de leurs mains. Okay. De leurs mains. Et ne rencontre. Ne rencontre. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay. I think I'm going to stop here. Let's go back to that cell. Okay, so if you like this kind of content, please let me know by commenting, and please like, comment, subscribe, and I will try to make more, maybe many more. Alright, bye.